Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Ivy Astrology. This is your complete 2026 Cosmic Overview. If you are watching this video for your sun or moon sign, just know that the transits and the interpretations to those transits will apply more to your career and public life if you're watching this for your sun sign, while for moon signs, they will affect your emotional world and inner security. Before we dive deep, let's clarify what makes the rising sign, so your ascendant, unique, and why this analysis is specifically for your rising sign. Your rising sign, your ascendant, represents your life path and overall journey. The ascendant is the starting point of your birth chart, determining your entire house system. It's the lens through which you experience all the life's areas: career, relationship, home, creativity, everything. Your physical body and appearance, how you look, your physical presence, your health patterns, and how you present yourself to the world. It can represent your personal, and it does represent your personality and identity. So your immediate reactions, natural behavior patterns, first impressions you make, and the persona you wear in your daily life. It represents your soul's purpose, the evolutionary direction your soul chose for this lifetime. Your ascendant shows what you're here to become. And it represents the timing of life events. Transits to your ascendant and through your houses create the timing of major life events with precise accuracy. By contrast, the sun sign represents your core essence, your ego, your conscious identity, your purpose, and what you're here to express. And your moon sign represents your emotional nature and inner world. An important note on outer planets aspects and the interpretations that I will be making in this video for those aspects or transits. When outer planets form aspects to one another, particularly those exact degree, perfect minute, perfect alignments, their influence extends far beyond the precise date. Those slow-moving planet giants can remain within orb for extended periods of time, meaning their effects can be felt for months before and after the exact aspect, which I will probably be mentioning during the video. So if a major outer planet configuration is active in your chart, understand that you are working with a much longer wave of energy rather than that single moment in time or that period of time. Scorpio Rising 2026 is truly your year for profound transformation across home, wisdom, and career. And I'm going to show you exactly why. Let's dive in. Scorpio Rising, Sun or Moon. You have a powerful cosmic advantage in 2026, and it comes from understanding your chart ruler, Mars. As Scorpio rising, Mars rules your entire chart. Mars represents action, drive, courage, transformation, and strategic power. Whenever Mars goes through 2026, your entire life energy follows. What makes you particularly powerful is your natural affinity for transformation, depth, and intensity. You're not afraid of crisis or change. In fact, you thrive in it. You're the phoenix of the zodiac, constantly dying and being reborn into stronger versions of yourself. In 2026, this transformative power gets activated in three major ways. First, Jupiter, exalted in Cancer, creates a water trine to your Scorpio ascendant from your 9th house of wisdom. This is one of the most harmonious transits of the year, emotional intelligence flowing directly into your identity. Your penetrating insight combines with Cancer's nurturing wisdom for profound philosophical expansion. Second, your natural rulership of the 8th house means when Uranus enters Gemini in April, you experience revolutionary breakthroughs in intimacy, shared resources, and psychological depth. You're innovating in the area you already master. Transformation itself. Third, the year sequence from October through November brings Sun, Mercury, and Venus all transiting through Scorpio in your first house. This creates a powerful identity transformation cycle, awareness, analysis, and magnetism, all focused on becoming the most authentic, powerful version of yourself. Let's have a look now at your top 5 major transits for Scorpio Rising, Sun, or Moon during 2026. The first major transit is the Aquarius solar eclipse and Pluto in your 4th house. On February 17th, there is a solar eclipse at 28 degrees Aquarius in your 4th house of home, family, and emotional foundation. This eclipse forms a square to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant Scorpio, meaning this domestic transformation requires active engagement and evolution. The 4th house governs your home, family relationships, emotional security, living situation, and your most private self. When an eclipse hits here, it opens a 6-month portal for transformation in all these areas. But here's what makes this even more powerful. Pluto is also in Aquarius, Pluto, in your 4th house all year long and for the next 20 years through 2043. Pluto represents deep transformation, death and rebirth, and evolutionary change. In your 4th house, Pluto is completely revolutionizing how you create sanctuary, relate to family, and build emotional security. The combination of the eclipse plus Pluto means 2026 is the year for home and family breakthrough. If you've been living in outdated domestic situations, stuck in toxic family dynamics, or holding into childhood emotional patterns, this year changes that completely. Because this is Aquarius, the sign of innovation and revolution, and it squares your Scorpio ascendant. This transformation asks you to evolve beyond emotional intensity and possessiveness into progressive freedom and detachment. Your Scorpio nature wants deep bonding and merged family connections. Aquarius demands independence, innovation, and humanitarian perspective. The square creates productive tension that forces growth. This might manifest as moving to a radically different home, restructuring family relationships to allow more freedom, releasing childhood trauma through therapy, renovating your living space with cutting-edge technology, or creating chosen family beyond blood relations. In the extended version, I break down exactly when Mars activates this eclipse point, which specific degrees of Scorpio rising are most affected, and the complete manifestation timeline for domestic transformation. So watch the extended version if you can. From June through December, Jupiter is in Cancer, in your 9th house of higher wisdom, philosophy, travel, and education. And Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, meaning at maximum strength. This is your second major transit in 2026. And this is the biggest wisdom blessing you will receive in 12 years. Jupiter in your ninth house expands your philosophical understanding, increases spiritual depth, and opens doors for learning and teaching that transform your entire worldview. And here's the beautiful part. Jupiter forms a water trine with its a harmonious aspect to your Scorpio ascendant sun or moon. Both Cancer and Scorpio are water signs, creating effortless, emotional, and intuitive flow. This means your philosophical expansion happens naturally through your Scorpio gifts, with penetrating insight, philosophical depth, investigative mastery, and transformative understanding. You don't have to become someone else to access wisdom. Your intensity becomes the pathway to profound knowledge. This could manifest as enrolling in transformative education, teaching others about psychology or depth work, traveling to emotionally significant places, publishing work about transformation, or developing a complete philosophy of crisis and rebirth. The trine aspect means this arrives with ease. Learning feels natural, teaching flows effortlessly. Your Scorpio vision becomes wisdom that serves others. This is the year's most supportive transit. From June through December, you're cosmically backed to become a wisdom keeper, a transformative teacher, and a philosophical depth master. From June through December, Jupiter is in Cancer, in your ninth house of higher wisdom, philosophy, travel, and education. And Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, meaning at maximum strength. This is your second major transit in 2026. And this is the biggest wisdom blessing you will receive in 12 years. Jupiter in your ninth house expands your philosophical understanding, increases spiritual depth, and opens doors for learning and teaching that transform your entire worldview. And here's the beautiful part. Jupiter forms a water trine with its a harmonious aspect to your Scorpio ascendant sun or moon. Both Cancer and Scorpio are water signs, creating effortless, emotional, and intuitive flow. This means your philosophical expansion happens naturally through your Scorpio gifts, with penetrating insight, philosophical depth, investigative mastery, and transformative understanding. You don't have to become someone else to access wisdom. Your intensity becomes the pathway to profound knowledge. This could manifest as enrolling in transformative education, teaching others about psychology or depth work, traveling to emotionally significant places, publishing work about transformation, or developing a complete philosophy of crisis and rebirth. The trine aspect means this arrives with ease. Learning feels natural, teaching flows effortlessly. Your Scorpio vision becomes wisdom that serves others. This is the year's most supportive transit. From June through December, you're cosmically backed to become a wisdom keeper, a transformative teacher, and a philosophical depth master. The third major aspect of the year is Jupiter moving from Cancer into Leo in July. So January 1st to early June, Jupiter is in Leo. Apology. Sorry, in that period, Jupiter is in Cancer, in your ninth house. But in June 30th Jupiter moves into Leo in your 10th house of career, public reputation, and professional achievement. This brings massive career expansion and public recognition opportunities. And here's the interesting part. Jupiter forms a square, that's a 90-degree angle, to your Scorpio ascendant sun or moon. Squares create productive tension. This means your career growth comes through dynamic challenge rather than easy flow. But for 6 months, from July through December for this year, you will feel tension between maintaining your Scorpio privacy, depth, and emotional intensity versus stepping into public visibility, leadership magnificence, and bold professional expression. Both want your attention, both are important. The square ensures you cannot ignore either one. But here's the gift. Squares create breakthroughs precisely because they force you to level up. So after experiencing the harmonious wisdom blessing from Jupiter in Cancer from January to June, Jupiter's move into Leo challenges you to take that wisdom public. You will prove you can maintain depth while commanding public attention and channel your investigative brilliance into career success. The strategy is to use your natural Scorpio psychological insight, transformative power, and strategic mastery as your professional strengths during the second half of the year. Don't try to separate personal gifts from career advancement, merge them. This is particularly powerful for careers in psychology, investigation, research, crisis management, transformation work, depth healing, or any field requiring insight and power navigation. The first half builds wisdom foundation, the second half takes it public. The fourth major transit in 2026 is Uranus entering Gemini, in your 8th house of intimacy. So on April 25th, Uranus enters Gemini and moves into your 8th house for the next 7 years. Yes, 7 full years from 2026 to 2033. The 8th house governs intimacy, shared resources, psychological depth, transformation, sexuality, death and rebirth, and mental power with others. Merged power with others. And as Scorpio Rising, you naturally rule the 8th house. This is your domain. Uranus brings innovation, sudden breakthroughs, and revolutionary change. Uranus in your 8th house means your approach to intimacy, merger, and shared transformation, it's about to be completely revolutionized. And here's what makes this complex. Uranus in Gemini forms an aspect that is not a major upset, but still is not an easy flowing one. It's an aspect that requires adjustment. So an aspect to your sign. They connect energies that don't naturally work together easily. So your Scorpio nature seeks intense emotional merger, deep psychological bonding, and transformative intimacy. Gemini 8th house energy calls for communicative connection, intellectual intimacy, and lighter approaches to depth. These don't naturally fit together. You must consciously integrate them. The work here is about revolutionizing how you bond, adding communication and mental connection to emotional intensity, exploring multiple forms of intimacy rather than singular focus, and bringing innovative approaches to traditionally taboo subjects. This is challenging because it asks you to evolve beyond comfortable emotional merger into experimental connection that honors both depth and variety. But the revolutionary potential is profound. In 2026, you're getting the preview of the 7-year journey. From late April through December, you will see what this intimacy innovation looks like. The fifth major transit in 2026 is the Virgo lunar eclipse in your 11th house of community. On March 3rd, just 2 weeks after the Aquarius solar eclipse, there is a lunar eclipse at 13 degrees of Virgo in your 11th house of community, friendships, and collective consciousness. This eclipse forms a harmonious aspect to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. It's a sextile, creating opportunity that flows naturally when you engage it. The 11th house governs your friendships, social networks, group participation, community leadership, and collective goals. This lunar eclipse brings 18-year cycle completion and culmination in these areas. Lunar eclipses are about release, completion, and emotional culmination. In your 11th house, this means friendships that no longer serve your authentic path naturally end, community roles you've outgrown complete their purpose, and you gain clarity about which networks truly support your transformation. Because it's a sextile to your ascendant, sun, or moon, this release feels right. You're not losing anything valuable, you're completing what's meant to end. So new, more authentic community connections can form. This might manifest as leaving groups that don't honor your depth, completed leadership roles in organizations, natural friendship transitions as people move in different directions, or clarity about which communities genuinely support your investigative gifts. The Virgo energy brings practical wisdom and service mastery to your community participation. You're not just socializing, you're bringing your analytical gifts and transformative insights to collective healing and practical service. So let me tie all of this together with your main themes for 2026. Theme 1, domestic revolution through progressive freedom. The Aquarius eclipse plus Pluto in your fourth house brings once in a lifetime transformation to home and family, requiring you to evolve beyond emotional possessiveness into innovative domestic freedom. Your home becomes a laboratory for progressive living. Theme 2, wisdom foundation through emotional intelligence. Jupiter, exalted in Cancer from January to June, creates what a trine blessing to your ascendant, sun, or moon, bringing profound psychological growth through your natural depth. Your penetrating insight becomes transformative wisdom that serves teaching and learning. Theme number 3, career magnificence through strategic visibility. Jupiter entering in Leo from July to December. Squares your ascendant, sun, or moon from the 10th house, challenging you to step into public professional power while maintaining your Scorpio depth. Career growth requires bold visibility and leadership confidence built on first half wisdom. Theme number 4, intimacy revolution through communication. Uranus in Gemini begins 7-year cycle in your 8th house, revolutionizing how you bond, merge, and share resources. The aspect is an adjusting requiring one from purely emotional merger requiring adjustment to include intellectual and communicative intimacy. Theme number 5, community completion through practical service. The Virgo Eclipse sextiles your ascendant from the 11th house, bringing natural completion of friendship cycles and clarity about authentic community participation. Your analytical gifts serve collective healing. And theme number 6, identity transformation through personal power. October through November brings powerful first house activation as Sun, Mercury, and Venus transit Scorpio, creating deep identity transformation through awareness, analysis, and magnetic presence. So 2026 has a clear two-phase structure for you. Phase 1, January through June, wisdom foundation and domestic revolution. The first half of 2026 focuses on wisdom expansion through harmonious water trine with Jupiter in Cancer. Domestic revolution beginning with Aquarius eclipse and Pluto transformation. Community completion with the Virgo eclipse, and Uranus entering Gemini, beginning intimacy, innovation. This phase builds philosophical and emotional foundation through harmonious flow. Phase 2, July through December, brings career breakthrough and identity power. The second half brings Jupiter in Cancer, in Leo, activating your career, expansion through productive tension, continued wisdom integration, and the October-November first house sequence creating powerful identity transformation. This phase challenges you to take your depth, public, and embody transformative leadership. The year progresses from challenge to flow, from professional tension to philosophical ease, from domestic crisis to revolutionary home integration. So, how do you actually work with all this energy? For the fourth house, domestic revolution, February 17th through August is your primary home transformation window. The eclipse opens the portal, move, renovate, restructure family relationships, or create radically new living arrangements. Don't resist the change. Pluto will keep pushing for 20 years. So start now. For Jupiter's wisdom blessing, January through June, embrace learning and teaching opportunities. Your depth becomes wisdom during this period. Enroll in transformative education, travel to emotionally significant places, study psychology or depth subjects. The water trine makes this effortless and profoundly nourishing. For Jupiter's career expansion, from July through December, prioritize professional advancement, even if it creates tension with your privacy needs. Use your Scorpio insight, crisis mastery, and transformative power as your career strengths. Step into visible leadership, take the wisdom you build in the first half and make it publicly powerful. For Uranus intimacy revolution, starting April 25th, stay open to new forms of connection. Add communication to emotional intensity. Explore intellectual intimacy alongside sexual merger. Revolutionize how you bond. This 7-year cycle is just beginning. For the Virgo community eclipse, notice which friendships and groups naturally align or naturally complete around March 3rd. Don't force connections that have run their course. Release with gratitude. Make space for authentic community that honors your investigative gifts and transformative nature. And for the first house identity sequence, October through November is your peak personal power window, with your personal planets transiting Sun and Mercury. During this period, make major identity decisions, launch transformative self-expression initiatives, and embody your deepest authentic power. This is when you shine most powerfully as yourself. Now, everything I've shared is your overview, the big picture themes, and major transits. But there is so much more detail available. In the extended version, I break down all 12 houses with complete transit analysis. You will learn exactly which specific degrees of Scorpio rising Sun or Moon are most impacted by each transit, the precise timing windows for Mars activating your chart throughout the year, month by month guidance for the entire year, detailed manifestation for every major transit, integration practices for working with challenging aspects, and the complete astrological ways behind everything I've mentioned today. If you want that level of depth and personalization, the extended analysis is available. It's a complete house by house roadmap for your entire 2026 journey as Scorpio rising Sun or Moon. Now, everything I've shared is your overview, the big picture themes and major transits, but there is so much more detail available. In the extended version, I break down all 12 houses with complete transit analysis. You will learn exactly which specific degrees of Leo rising Sun or Moon are most impacted by each transit, the precise timing windows for the Sun, Venus, Mercury, activating your Jupiter blessings, month by month guidance for the entire year, detailed manifestations for every major transit, integration practices for working with challenging aspects, and the complete astrological ways behind everything I've mentioned today. If you want that level of depth and personalization, the extended analysis is available. It's a complete house by house a roadmap for your entire 2026 journey as Leo rising Sun or Moon. Scorpio rising Sun or Moon. 2026 is truly your year for profound multi-level transformation. The fourth house eclipse and Pluto revolutionize your home foundation. Jupiter's water trine brings effortless wisdom expansion. Career challenges build professional mastery. Uranus transforms your natural intimacy gifts. Community completes authentic cycles. And your identity transforms completely through year-end personal power activation. You're being cosmically supported to become a wisdom teacher, a domestic revolutionary, a professionally powerful leader, an innovative intimacy pioneer, and an authentically expressed transformer, all while honoring your natural Scorpio depth and intensity. Trust your investigative gifts, embrace the revolutionary changes, step into career visibility, learn and teach from depth, and transform completely. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your Scorpio rising friends. And if you are a Scorpio Sun or Moon, also share with them. May 2026 bring you domestic revolution, wisdom mastery, career magnificence, intimacy innovation, and complete transformation into your most powerful self. Until next time, stay cosmic.